Okay, so let's talk about this Joe Paterno Penn State scandal. I've been trying to make this video all weekend long, and I just get so emotionally worked up that the footage I've shot so far really isn't appropriate for putting on YouTube. First off, Joe Paterno is nothing more than a big fish with a big name, fired as a scapegoat in an attempt to appease the American mainstream outrage against the university and its actions. I'm personally anxious to hear what Joe wanted to say at the press conference that Penn State canceled just before he was fired. I suspect that we're going to find that there was an administration intimidating and bullying those who would have stepped forward into keeping their mouths shut. Now, I don't care that Joe was fired. He should have resigned. The fact of the matter is he should have gone to the police from the get-go. So he deserved to be fired, absolutely. But it is a disgrace when you consider that two Penn State administrators who have been charged with perjury for lying to the grand jury are having their legal expenses paid for by the university. One is on administrative leave and the other one is retired through the university. That's a disgrace. I think it's also a disgrace that Mike McQuarrie still has a job. He's the assistant coach who witnessed Sandusky sodomizing a 10-year-old boy but didn't intervene or call police. How does this man live with himself? How does he not have nightmares about this 10-year-old and what has happened to that child since then? He wasn't just a college kid who was confused and scared about what to do when he caught Sandusky in the act. He was a 28-year-old man, and he should have done everything in his power to get Sandusky off that child right then and there, and he should have called the police, not his father and not Joe Paterno. Then there's Sandusky himself, the child rapist who in 1977 created a charity called Second Mile to help disadvantaged children. Do you realize that Sandusky claims he got that name from Matthew 5:41, which he heard during a church service? So here we have another so-called Christian using his power and his position to victimize children. This is just disgusting and sick. And it's one of the reasons why people look at Christianity and say, I could never be a Christian. There's still a greater problem revealed by all of this, and that is most people in general are not willing to stand up and do the right thing. They are fearful for their jobs, their reputations, their social standings, and they protect these things at the cost of allowing children to be brutally victimized. Reports are saying tons of people knew about Sandusky, not just within Penn State, but outside of Penn State. Yet nobody did anything. They just allowed the administration to do their thing, covering it up and allowing it to continue for years. We're messed up as a society. You know, a lot of times when I'm watching videos, it'll be of someone being victimized, beaten down, yelled at, ridiculed, whatever. And I'm watching someone videotape it and I'm thinking, why aren't they stepping in and doing something about it? And it's gotten worse lately, as sometimes when I see these videos, there's not just the guy shooting the video that I'm watching, but there's other people with their cell phones out and they're shooting it too. Nobody wants to stand up and do the right thing. Nobody seems to want to be that hero that steps in and says enough is enough. It's disgusting. We have to stop cowering and we have to start standing, no matter what the perceived risks are. Your job's in danger? Well, your job is not worth allowing a child to be victimized. You might lose everything you have. You might lose your money. They might take you down. Well, who cares? They've already taken down a child. You might as well go down fighting instead of cowering, hoping they don't knock on your door to take your pension, your salary, your savings. We're a greedy, greedy, filthy society. But it can change. It just has to start with each one of us individually. I, for one, am fed up with this notion that we look out for number one first. The bottom line is, if we don't do something about these things, if we don't change the way that people approach these situations, we will never be able to protect our children from perverts and pedophiles. There will always be cover-ups. There will always be people who try to hide wicked deeds. But we have to insist on better. We have to demand results. We have to demand a certain moral character out of those who are in the educational system, whether they be in kindergarten, whether they be in elementary school, whether they be in middle school, high school, or colleges. We have to stand up and protect our children once and for all. I'm not advocating violence, and I'm not advocating vigilantism. What I'm saying is, we pay these people's salaries. We have a right to demand better. And until we do that, we don't have a leg to stand on. Well, until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless and peace out.